Hi, I'm Nicola Cairncross.
Hi, hello, hey, hi.
I'm going to talk to you about success. Yes.
Hi everyone, it's Nicola and I'm coming to you today from one of the most glorious days we've had so far, and this is one of my favourite views of Stoupa. When we first came here, that house behind me was the one I set my heart on, and I now know that none of these houses go up for sale because they're kept in the family for so long. But you know, a girl can dream, eh? As you can see, I've just been to the hairdressers. I sat under a very, you know, one of those 1950s things, the hoods that spray all the hot air down on you to make your colour activate. Anyway, I hope you think it's been worth it. Good colour, I think, good cut. And that's one of the things that people worry about when they go to live and work abroad, is all the little things. Am I going to be able to find a decent hairdresser? Yes, I found a great one. Am I going to be able to sleep at night with the window open? Yes, I've just done it the last couple of nights, so I'm getting very brave indeed. But it's really weird, the kind of things you worry about when you're coming to live and work in a different environment. And I've just been reflecting on how I was so terrified at the idea of coming out here, and it was only really Sarah coming with me that made me brave enough to do it. So I've just been walking along, literally paddling along the seafront here, on my way from one coffee shop to another because I'm meeting Sarah, and my hairdressing appointment finished a bit early. And I was just thinking, it's the simple things, you know, it's just being able to walk down the hill in the sunshine and paddle along to the coffee shop. I mean, I love paddling. Oh my god, it feels so good. I'll be in there soon swimming, you see. So coming back to England in about a week and a half, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Phoebe and Nelson, but I'm really also then looking forward to coming back out here to live for the next few years. That's just because it's a simple way of life. The sun shines most of the time, even in the winter, and I like being able to paddle. You've got to decide what makes you happy, I think, and then go for it. So today I'm going to talk to you about comparisonitis. We might have touched on it before, but this week it's come home to me with a bang because I've been fighting it, and also my daughter Phoebe's been fighting it. So let's get on with the show, shall we? Okay, so today I want to talk to you about comparisonitis, and this is the condition that you get when you spend a lot of time on social media, and who can help that when they actually work on social media like I do. It's something apparently that affects the younger people, you know, teenagers and early 20s very much, because all they see is carefully curated visions of their friends and family in their best moments, and people who are the same age as them who are apparently much more successful and living life to the full, and it just makes you generally feel a bit about yourself. I've been fighting it this week because one of my people that I look up to, Bernadette Doyle, has been doing her second series of 5 live videos, and she is so good at them. It really, you know, it's just Facebook live videos where she's talking about great topics and she gets lots of engagement. And you know, I could really be doing the comparisonitis thing if I thought about that for too long, because she's great at it and she gets so much more engagement than I do. But then I have to remind myself she's been working at this for 10 years longer than I have. You know, I've been online for 20 years, but I've been a little bit more sporadic. I've changed what I've been doing, and Bernadette has just stuck to one thing, the one thing she's great at, and she has built an enormous following online. There's someone else I respect enormously, Sarah Starr, and Sarah Starr has been, again, doing exactly the same thing, affiliate marketing, for the last 10 years or so, and she's built up a mailing list of 1.5 million people. I mean, that is astonishing. Can you imagine what what you could do with 1.5 million people on your mailing list. Anyway, the point is that both of these people I respect enormously. They're both way ahead of me, and I could make myself feel really bad if I compared myself to those people. Another person I admire immensely is Denise Duffield-Thomas. Now, Denise told me when I interviewed her on my podcast that she had come to see me and Judith in London when we had the Money Gym, and she looked up to us then. And since then, she's gone on to do amazing things. She lives in Australia. She's written the Lucky Bitch book. She's written the Get Rich Lucky Bitch, and she's written an amazing series of books, and she has a huge presence online. Again, I could be comparing myself. I could be saying, well, why have I not done as well as these people? Well, it's because I haven't been consistent. I've kept chopping and changing what I'm doing. It was really brought home to me, this whole comparisonitis thing, because my daughter Phoebe is 22 years old, and she'll be editing this, in fact, so this is a message straight to you, my darling. She's just getting started. She's done amazing things. She's taught herself how to edit video. She edits my Vzines for me, and she is just doing so well. But she looks through Instagram, she looks through Facebook, she looks through Snapchat, and she sees all these amazing people doing incredible things. You can't help compare yourself. You just can't help it. But what you've got to do is try and catch yourself at it. And instead of lying there and wallowing and thinking, why am I not doing very well? The only cure for this is to take some action, is to create something. If you're not feeling great about yourself, if you start creating stuff, the very fact that you've created something, no matter what it is, will give you a sense of achievement, and it will make you feel better about yourself. And everything you create online and put it out there, it creates one more person, 2 more people, 10 more people who might know who you are, what you do, and what you can do for them. And just to round off this thing, I mean, we are turning the Vzine into a video podcast this week. It's going live on iTunes this week. I'm stripping out the audio part of it and editing it down a little bit and making it into an audio podcast. And so, I won't just be on YouTube with these amazing Vzines. I won't just be on my Facebook page. I'll be on the iTunes store as well, and that will bring a different audience of people to me. And I'm not going to change what I do now. I'm not going to swap and start and stop. I'm just going to keep being consistently there to help people who want to get started online, specifically people who want to be everywhere online. And I'm not going to compare myself to Bernadette Doyle. I'm not going to compare myself to Denise Duffield-Thomas. I'm not going to compare myself to Sarah Starr. I'm just going to be 100% me, Nicola Cairncross, helping people to get started online. And Phoebe, you're just going to keep on doing my video editing until you attract other people who want to create Vzines like this, and I have every confidence that's going to happen for you. But you just have to pick yourself up, get up out of bed in the morning, and just get making something. It'll make you feel so much better. I love you. And just as a little addendum to that, I just got my iPhone out to look up what's on the blog and the podcast this week, because I can actually never remember. And Phoebe has just sent me a message saying somebody's asked her to do a paid review of a product that they're launching. So, that just really shows you how you can be feeling really down, but it doesn't really reflect what's going on in the world. And the only way that you can I always think of it as like throwing pebbles in a pond, and the only way you can make ripples happen in your life is to throw pebbles in the pond. It has to come from you first. So, just think of a still, smooth pond, and nothing's going to change in that pond unless someone throws a pebble in. Now, you don't know where the ripples will go. If you keep throwing different pebbles in, you don't know which ripples will bounce back and come back to you, but you do know that something's changing, that something is happening, that something's going on under the surface of that pond. And if you can just imagine, the more pebbles you throw in the pond, the more ripples will happen and the more things will come back to you. And this has just happened to Phoebe. I am so thrilled for her. Okay, so what's on the podcast this week? On the podcast this week, Judith and I were talking about comparisonitis. So the big news on the Own It podcast is we've climbed a couple of places in the What's Hot charts. That's really exciting, and I think it's come from the fact that Sarah, my sister's been doing some SEO in iTunes for us, and also we've had a really solid bunch of downloads the last couple of weeks, possibly coming from the SEO work Sarah's done. So we were stuck at number 80 for so long. I mean, obviously I'm really grateful to be in the top 100 of iTunes anyway on the What's Hot chart, but we climbed up to 79. We went one space. That was great excitement after a year, and now we've just climbed another 2 spaces to 77. So hopefully our greater visibility and our bigger numbers of downloads will increase, and we'll just keep climbing the charts. That'd be really very cool, because we're up to episode 126 now. And you could have argued, you could have looked at all the other podcasts and thought they're not doing as many episodes, they're more professional than us, oh, they get better guests, and we don't have guests on our show. We could have done Comparisonitis there, but we didn't. We just enjoyed what we're doing. I think this is another really key thing, is the being part of the process. We enjoy the process of making that podcast, so we determined we were going to carry on no matter what. And yes, we're being rewarded now, we're climbing the charts, but does it make any real difference to anything? Not really. We still just enjoy getting together and having a good old chinwag about business and marketing every week. So come over to ownitthepodcast.com. We were talking about comparisonitis this week on this week's show, and Judith's got a lot to say on the topic as well. So if you're suffering from low self-esteem, or worrying that you're not getting anywhere, or you're not getting there fast enough, then do come over and listen to the Own It the podcast show as well. On the blog this week, I've been showcasing some amazing interviews. I interviewed about 120 people a couple of years ago, and they're really incredible people. They were incredible people then, and they're doing even greater things now. And the first book of the interviews is released now, called Mindset, Marketing and Money. It's on Amazon globally, and I've just been highlighting some of the fantastic stories from those interviews on the blog. So nicolacairncross.com/blog, and you can share in some of the amazing stories from some of the incredible entrepreneurs I interviewed. I hope you're enjoying all this. I'd love to see on Facebook, you can do comments underneath the Vzine. On YouTube, you can do comments under the Vzine, and on iTunes, I would really welcome your reviews for the new Vzine video podcast and the Nicola Cairncross Clicks and Leads audio podcast. See you next week. I'm off for a paddle.
We've got a new initiative started in Australia.
What's happening? Oh, I've got no internet connection, have I? What's on the podcast this week?
Got the colour right,